As the video says, we're going to be debunking the excuses people give for why they're obese. The list is fairly large, so we're going to have to go through this quickly, but I'll try and not leave out any valuable and important information. And as a bonus, I'm going to be including some valuable information on how you can work out and diet for the first time. This video is also not intended to bully or harass anybody, it's just for educational and entertainment purposes only. First thing is genetic. They like to say it's genetic because they observe in their own family that everybody is obese or overweight, and they themselves were obese and overweight at a very young age, leading them to believe it's hereditary. But that doesn't mean it is. The more likely of the two is it's not genetic and you have a long history in your families of being overweight and obese, but rather, you have simply inherited their bad lifestyles and dieting, which has led everybody in your family to be obese. This is indicative of unhealthy eating patterns in your entire family rather than a genetic predisposition. Stress, eating, and anxiety. Okay, I can understand this one a bit. It can catch someone off guard, leading to compulsive eating and immediate weight gain. However, it is crucial to recognize that obesity isn't something that just sneaks up on you. It is very much observable over a long stretch of time. This requires you to consistently poorly eat and have a bad lifestyle. You need to take responsibility for when you first notice it and you see yourself gaining weight. All you have to do is look in the mirror and you see it. Instead of succumbing to your impulses, perhaps you should instill healthier habits to deal with the stress and anxiety you have. Tons of people all the time work out because of stress, anxiety, and depression. This can be a healthy alternative to deal with those things. Or, if you're still compulsively eating, one of the things you can do easily to help yourself out is you fill your house with healthier foods to snack on. Maybe instead of snacking on potato chips, you can snack on a banana. When you're compulsively eating, you want to eat something immediately, and a banana is one of those things you can easily eat in an instant. Be sure to try it out. Going to the gym requires too much time and money. Look, my friend, we're not even trying to build you up into an amazing athlete right now. All we're trying to do is resolve your obesity. And obesity can be resolved without a gym membership. All you need to do is sprint and increase your metabolism. It doesn't require a gym membership to do this. Working out and doing resistance training is great, and I do it myself all the time, but it is not required to resolve obesity. Going outside for a walk is free, and if you say you don't have enough time, which usually is not the case, it's a matter of prioritizations, because at the end of the day, a lot of people have free time, but instead of, say, working out, they want to watch TV and relax. One of the things you can do if that is your case and you're struggling to prioritize what you should be doing, which is working out, you can get a stationary bike or treadmill. This can allow you to watch TV, watch a movie, or be on your phone and even play video games while you're working out.
30 minutes of just this. That can be kind of boring. But guess what? Oh, it really just turns into 30 minutes of this. It's nothing, it's mindless.
I'm too tired to work out is another excuse people give. The thing is with this is that it often stems from a lack of activity. They lead a sedentary lifestyle, so their body adjusts naturally to it and only produces the minimum amount of energy required to fulfill it. So if you're sitting at an office all day or at a computer all day, your body is only going to produce enough energy for you to do just that. I think for the majority of people out there, the reason why they don't have enough energy to work out is because they don't work out. Your body runs on the principle of, if you don't use it, you lose it. Then there are many other excuses, being medical conditions. People like to throw around the, I have thyroid issues. Let's Google real quick and see how much weight a person can expect to gain from having thyroid issues. 5 to 10 pounds. Okay, that's not obesity. We're talking about a person who just gained a bit of weight and now is a bit fat, but I'm sorry, that's not an excuse for obesity. Another one is like saying they can't walk anymore, or people who struggle with walking, their body is falling apart on them. Okay, I would first ask, why is that? If you were in an accident and you got paralyzed from it, or you have a neurological issue, I understand it. That warrants sympathy, in my opinion, for weight gain. You became a bit fat or chubby, you could not easily adjust to your new lifestyle with your diet, you struggled to be physically active. That is understandable, which I would say you have lenience, and people should be sympathetic towards that and understanding, at least for a while and at least at the beginning. But as time goes on, the less sympathy you are warranted, and the more responsibility you have to adjust to your new lifestyle. But then there are people who say they can't work out as an excuse. They can't go walking because they have knee issues, they have hip issues, and it's because of their own actions, their bad lifestyle and their bad dieting led to their body to fall apart and not be able to support them. I don't see how this is an excuse for anybody. This is simply the consequences of your own actions. You are responsible for this. You caused this. And if there's any hope for you to get out, it's on you. I have met literal cripples who are in better physical condition than the majority of American citizens. These aren't excuses long-term for obesity because, again, we're not talking simply about being fat or being a bit chubby. We're talking about long-term obesity, which requires you to consistently eat too much and not being physically active enough. Another argument, which is the most baffling to me, frankly, is diabetes, because diabetes stems from a bad diet. It is your responsibility because you caused it. Though there are some people who like to say not everybody causes their own diabetes, but that is statistically extremely rare. 1 in 500 for type 1 diabetes and 1 in 100,000 for neonatal diabetes, in which case still, neither of them causes excessive weight gain. That is type 2 diabetes, which causes you to become more hungry, more thirsty. This doesn't just happen to you. Another excuse is it's too expensive to eat healthy, which is very interesting because this is a mixed bag here. Eating so that you do not become obese does not require extremely healthy food. It is simply managing your calorie intake. You can actually eat a lot of processed foods. For example, Mark Holm, whose diet consisted of 2/3 junk food like cookies and Twinkies, and he lost 27 pounds over the span of 10 weeks. He was very unhealthy at the end of the day, but he was not becoming obese because he managed his calorie intake. He just made sure he didn't eat too many of them. Now, if we're talking about comparing non-organic foods like chicken and fruits and vegetables to their organic counterparts, that is significantly more expensive. But if we're comparing non-organic foods like eggs to junk food that is processed like potato chips, it isn't more expensive. I mean, even eggs, which everybody is saying is super expensive, you can still get 12 eggs depending on where you are for an objectively not expensive price. The real issue is it's bland, it's boring, it's not fun compared to these processed foods. Another excuse is they say, I'm more hungry than the average person, which I don't think is the entire truth here. A lot of these people who are obese eat tons of processed foods with tons of sugars and carbs. Those things that are very processed, they don't satisfy you compared to things like meat and sweet potatoes. Those things are extremely satisfying, yet they have a lower amount of calories. What obese people have is they have tons and tons of empty calories. So they end up snacking on a whole package of Little Debbie's and they wonder, why am I still hungry? Why did this not satisfy me? It's because you're eating the wrong things. And again, it's not more expensive. You could buy a Costco rotisserie chicken for $5. That will last you for several meals. It is a great source of protein. It's chicken that will satisfy you. The only issue is it doesn't taste good when you reheat it. Are Costco chickens objectively healthy? No, but are they healthier than processed foods? 100 times more. I guarantee you, if you ate more fulfilling and satisfying things, you would not be as hungry. I wish you good luck trying to become obese, eating nothing but meats and fruits and vegetables that are not processed foods. You're going to be less hungry and you're going to become less obese. I'd become extremely hungry if I was eating your diet, and I'm not obese. The last one is depression, which is a mixed bag again. Let's say a family member died, your wife or husband died, or your life is falling apart, and you became fat or chubby immediately after. That is extremely understandable, and people should be lenient and understanding of that when you tell them. It's a terrible thing to go through, and I wish you the best of luck. But again, we're not talking about obesity. We're talking about becoming fat or chubby, and it's also transitory in nature. Whereas obesity requires you to consistently overeat the amount of calories you need and to not be physically active at all. But the majority of depression cases aren't even what I just listed. I would argue to say that the majority of depression cases linked to obesity is not depression causing obesity, but rather they have become obese. They see their body falling apart when they look in the mirror, and they see that their body is decaying and not able to do what it once could. Well, of course, any sound and healthy individual would become depressed from that. You see yourself falling apart. I would say that there's something wrong with you if you did not become depressed from that, or you didn't feel anything negative from it. But again, that is not an excuse because your actions are causing the depression in this instance. And in fact, if you want to resolve depression, studies have shown that working out is 1.5 times more effective than either therapy or medication. So knock out two birds with one stone. Try working out and it will help that depression and it will resolve your obesity. Taking control of your physical health can have a positive impact on your mental well-being. And that is pretty much all the excuses people give when it comes to obesity. Now, if you want to resolve the issue of being obese or overweight, and you're new to dieting and working out, I will give you this solid piece of advice that everybody should know, regardless of what you do when it comes to diet or working out. That being, you want to start light changes that you can commit to for a long period of time, which means when you're first starting out, it is at its hardest for you to work out. It doesn't progressively get more challenging as time goes on, like a video game where you go from a level 1 boss to a level 99 boss. No, in many instances in the world, you start off fighting the hardest battles as your first battle. But the good news is it only gets easier from here. You need to understand that. And you need to become lenient on yourself when you're first starting out. And you need to keep it light when you're first starting out. Instead of committing to, say, a whole workout routine where you go into the gym and you come out an hour later. No, we're not doing that. What you need to do is just do a few push-ups, do a few weightless squats. Or if you're going to do cardio, instead of committing to a huge long run, just try and go walking for the first time. Or maybe a light jog. Make it as easy as possible for you when you're starting out. And also on the hard and challenging days when they come, try to make it the easiest amounts you need in order to do it. Let's say you can't commit to a 1-hour workout, but maybe you can commit to a 45-minute workout. Or if you can't commit to a 45-minute workout, commit to a 30-minute workout. Whatever it is you need in order to get yourself there. Just do whatever you can. We don't care right now about what you're doing. We care that you're showing up and being committed long-term to this. Just like you became obese and fat, not in the span of a few weeks, but the span of several years. We're doing the exact opposite here. We're slowly making good positive changes you can commit to. And this also consists for dieting. Do not try and radically change your diet in one day. It only causes a relapse and you will eat even more than you did before. And that's it. I hope this really helps you out. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to check out my previous videos. But also, if you enjoyed this video, I have been absent from my channel for quite some time, so I don't expect this video to get as many views. But if you would like to help me out, be sure to share this video with people it may help. Or just people who might be interested in it. That would be a great help to me. But also, I'm gonna try and return to making more videos and stay consistent. Also, in the comments, let me know what you think of this type of style. Also, as an extra note, if you're looking for a video editor, feel free to reach out to me. I'm very flexible when it comes to these types of things, and I would love to talk about them with you. Anyways, I hope you have a good one.